So if I explain you this board, we have this laptop right here, right? And inside this laptop, what we have done is, or what we want to do is, we want to run EVE-NG. You all know about it, right? We are trying to do this. And EVE-NG is a virtual machine. You also know that, and you have downloaded this virtual machine from the EVE-NG website. What you need to do now, basically, if you want to run this EVE-NG machine, which is a virtual machine, you need to install a virtualization software. And that virtualization software is nothing but the VMware workstation player, which I advise to download, right? And this is available in your this is available on the VMware. And by the way, I have downloaded this and put on the SharePoint, right? If you're interested, just download them. Now, at the end of the day, we want to run the EVE-NG on top of our machine, on top of our PC, and that is what we are doing here. On this PC, suppose you have a Mac operating system or you have Windows operating system, doesn't matter, right? So Windows or Mac, this is the first software or the operating system which is running on this machine. It is as simple as that. And you all know that this machine is going to have one network interface card. And you can argue with me that, Mr. Vishnu, I do not use this physical network interface card, which is the Ethernet one. I always use wireless. That is perfectly fine. Most of the guys, everybody is using wireless, but you all know that your laptop is having one port, which is NIC. Although at the end of the day, this NIC is taking the data from the TCP/IP layers, right, and sending it, or the application, and sending it over the wire. Similarly, wireless NIC is going to send the data over the air, right, in the form of electromagnetic waves. You all know that. Interesting, right? But now what I want to say is that suppose I have a NIC and I'm not talking about wireless, although the communication is going to be the same, but I am talking about here the NIC card, right? And here is the NIC card, and this NIC card is provided with an IP address which you have configured, and this IP address is 192.168.1.50, and this is your home router, which could be a Wi-Fi router, and this is going to be the default gateway, and that is why I'm giving the first IP address of this network, which is 192.168.1.0/24 to this router. And if you are running a browser here, and if you want to access anything over internet, maybe a server which is somewhere running here, the Google DNS server, right? How about the traffic path? You all know the traffic will come out from this NIC. It is going over this wire towards the router, towards the internet, and then it is going to be here. And you all know that because we are running this IP address range, which is private, there must be some public IP address range which you are going to get from your service provider. Here, maybe 200.1.1.2. This IP address is 200.1.1.1. So basically, you are having this public IP address range, and that is why you are able to access the internet. And this router, this one, maybe the Wi-Fi router, is also performing an important activity, which is NAT, which is network address translation, which is converting your addresses from 192 series range into the public range so that you can access the internet. Otherwise, private addresses cannot go through private addresses. You cannot access internet. It is as simple as that, because service providers block communication or routing towards this private addresses. So NAT is an important thing. NAT is done by this router, which could be your home router, home Wi-Fi router. You all know about it, right? This is very, very simple. Now, on top of this, what you have done is you have installed this virtualization layer or virtualization software, which is VMware Workstation. It is as simple as that, right? And now you must be thinking that, Mr. Vishnu, what are these two cards? My machine have only one NIC card. My machine have only one physical card. But why you have shown these two cards here? Believe me, when you install VMware Workstation, it is going to put two network cards there. Interesting. It is not the fact that this VMware Workstation is going to some hardware shop, computer hardware shop, buying these network card for you and putting it there. No, this is just a piece of software. It can do something with related. It can do few things, and those things are with respect to software itself. So these cards, whatever you are seeing here, which were created by VMware Workstation software, are the software cards, right? Or these are just the codes, and that is why we call them virtual NICs. Believe me, when you install VMware Workstation on your machine, it is going to create two extra adapters for me. It is going to create two Ethernet adapters for me. If you won't believe, let's see that, right? I have installed VMware Workstation here, right? And if you see, if I go to the Ethernet setting, I am using Windows on my PC. So change adapter options. If you see here, you previously when I didn't have any VMware workstation installed, I had only this Ethernet adapter. This PC is having only one adapter. I have disabled the Wi-Fi one here, right? So when I installed VMware Workstation Player, magically it created two more adapters for me. One is this, it is calling it VMnet 1, and this one is VMnet 8. Why these are required, we need to investigate more. But these are my virtual adapters. These are created by VMware Workstation Player. It is as simple as that, right? So we will be talking about them uh, again, but let me close this for now. I just wanted to showcase you that we have this VMware Workstation has created these two for me, right? And now what I've done is after installing the VMware Workstation, when we open it, you can see it right here. This is the VMware Workstation. And now what you can do is you can go into the file and you can do new virtual machine, or you can open a virtual machine, right? And what do you want to open, right? You have already downloaded from my SharePoint this EVNG virtual machine, right? So when you open this VMware Workstation solution software, you need to open this virtual machine, and believe me, this virtual machine is going to run here. So this yellow color box, whatever you are seeing, it is your EVNG machine. Again, this is a virtual machine. Okay. VMware Workstation has created two NICs for you, and this EVNG machine comes with one NIC. And you must be thinking that, please, how many NICs are there? You have drawn four NICs, right? So this is the original NIC I have. This is the physical one. At the end of the day, whoever wants to communicate, he needs to come to this physical NIC, because this is connected to the router and router is connected to the internet. This is for sure, right? VMware Workstation has created two NICs for us. And when we install EVNG virtual machine, it has created one NIC for us, right? This is again the virtual network interface card. And the name of this network interface card is PNet 0, just like the name of this one was VMnet 1 and this one was VMnet 8, This is P net 0. Why I am telling all this information? Because these are important to understand your lab, right? This is absolutely mandatory to understand all these things. Now, let's try to think that what I think I am able to explain this complete topology for you, right? Everything is clear here. Whatever the nick cards we are seeing, we all know that from where those come, right? Now, if I see this VMware workstation, and if I click on this, and basically if I say edit virtual machine settings, you can see right here, right? There are different modes. So basically I was showcasing you this network adapter. This was I'm talking about that this is my pnet 0 representing pnet 0, right? And there are multiple options you can select, right? These are the network connection. They say it can be bridged, it can be NAT, it can be host only, it can be custom, it can be LAN, right? Here today we are going to discuss about three things. What is going to happen when you put this pnet 0 into bridge mode? What is going to happen if you put them into the NAT mode? What is going to happen if you put them into the host only mode? This is the confusion among most of us when we were creating this lab, right? Believe me, we are networking expert. Although we are mixing some virtualization concept, but this is very easy, very simple to understand. But yes, to anybody, these are going to create some confusion that where should I need to put? What is the difference between bridge and NAT and host only mode? We are going to cover them, right? Interesting. So if you know all these things, it is going to be revision for you. But if you do not know, this is going to be very interesting learning for you. So what I'm going to do is this pnet 0, first thing first, I am doing it. I am actually putting it into bridge mode, right? And you all know that basically this router is also working as DSCP, right? Because I'm pretty sure that when you go to your home with your mobile phone, when you switch on your mobile phone, it is going to get the IP address from your router, from your Wi-Fi router. If you switch on your laptop, it is going to get the IP address from your router, right? It means that this Wi-Fi router or this router is working as a DHCP server also, which is going to give your machine the IP address. Maybe this is the IP address given by this DHCP server, or maybe you can manually configure that too. That depends on you. But generally, in most of the home networking, the router, the Wi-Fi router, whatever you have is going to have that DHCP server, which is allocating the IP address to all of your devices inside your home, maybe your laptop, your PCs, your TV, if it is connected to the internet. It is as simple as that, right? So what is going to happen if you put this pnet 0 into the bridge mode? Believe me, it is going to create, it is absolutely creating a bridge between this pnet 0 and here. This is the bridge. What is the meaning of this bridge, right? If it is creating that, the meaning is actually that whatever you have created here is going to become part of the same network. What is the meaning? The meaning is if you have enabled, for example, on this interface, if you have configured, take IP address from DHCP, you can configure this, right? In the TCP IP settings, right? You can do the same thing in this pnet 0, take IP address from DHCP, and believe me, because everything is bridged now, if this guy sends the DHCP request message that I want an IP address, it is going to go, those messages are going to be bridged from here to here, and then from here to here, this router is going to reply with the DHCP IP address. subnet mask, gateway, everything. So this PNet 0 is going to get the IP address from the same range, which is going to be 192.168.1. Maybe it has taken the IP address maybe 49, maybe, right? Interesting. So your EVNG has become part of your home network. Interesting. If you open a window here, if you open a browser here and you write 192.168.1.49 and it is going to give you the UI of EVNG, it is as simple, and that is what you see. It is as simple as that, right? So I think everybody should understand the bridge mode now because it is creating this actual bridge between these two interfaces. And you must be thinking that, Mr. Vishnu, why the hell VMware Workstation has created these two NICs? We are not using them, right? My problem is solved. Now, if I ask you how basically this EVNG is going to access a server on the internet, which is 8.8.8.8, how it is going to be? It is very easy. It is just like any other system, maybe which is connected here, or maybe which is inside this as a virtual machine. So if this machine is pinging google.com, or if it is saying 8.8.8.8. Sorry, was that? It's too many 8 dots. It is saying ping 8.8.8.8. What is going to happen? Let me draw that with the green color. The packet is going to come from here to this NIC pnet 0. Over this bridge, it is going to come to 192.168.1.50. From here, because it is working as a bridge, it is going like this on the router. Router is going to do the NAT, and the packet is going to be like this. It is as simple as that. And that is why bridge mode is working. You can definitely assign this address. If you do not want to use ESCP, that is perfectly fine. You can assign this address on your own, but that should be part, this should be part of your home network address. And that home network range, whatever you are using, here is exactly that 192.168.1.0. Maybe in your home, it is going to be different, right? But I could see a problem here. It is very good if you do this, if this is your personal computer, which is inside your home, it is not movable, it is not laptop, and that is what I have done. This is my personal computer. It is not the laptop, although laptops are also personal computer, but this is a fixed place. I have a basically a pretty big cabinet, monitor and everything, right? So basically this is immovable, and that is why I am assigning the everything in the bridge mode here. The pnet 0 is in the bridge mode. But what is the problem? What is going to be the issue if what is going to be the issue now in the bridge mode? Suppose now we are talking about laptop, and laptop, the interesting thing is going to be the laptops are going to be your uh, laptops are going to be your movable piece, right? And if that is the case, then and suppose you have assigned this IP address maybe statically, suppose 1.49. Now here is my problem. If you move with this laptop and you go into the office, your office network is going to be different, maybe in the 10 series range, right? If that is the case, this complete range is changed now. If that is the case, here is my problem, because you have assigned the IP address statically here into this EVNG machine. This is not going to be reachable if you try to ping from here, because now your home network is changed. Now it is 192.168.1. It is not in 1.0. It has moved to 10.10. Something, right? If that is the case, you are not going to able to access it. And that is what I have seen problem. People when move their EVNG machine, or basically they're moving this laptop from their home to anybody else, they are anywhere else, they are not going to get access to EVNG machine, and that is the problem. And we are going to resolve that problem into the next board, but I could see there is a, I think there was a hand raise, but I don't see a hand raise now. If you guys have any problem, doubt, please raise your hand and I will be